Okay, coming directly from the SP website, it says the OEM opens up at 194 to 201, so pretty much 195 to 200 in there, 195 degrees to 200. And then the SPE high flow low thermostat, low temp thermostat is 175 to 180. So in there, that's where your thermostats are open. 175 to 180 is the SPE, and then OEM is 194 to 200 and 195 to 200. It says under normal driving conditions, your oil temps will be 200 to 210. And then with the SPE thermostat, you can take them back down to 180 to 188. Had to go back and make sure I was saying it correctly.
I didn't get any footage of it to begin with, but I figure it's pretty important. But on these 6.7s, to remove your radiator, your upper radiator hose, just pull this pin out, get you a flat head, pull it out, clips up, and then you'll be able to pop this end off the radiator. It's not too hard. And then the same thing is on the 90 degree on the other side, except for the pin pulls this way. It's kind of difficult. I had to get a pick and reach down in there and kind of pull it out a little bit. Then I could get a flathead screwdriver in there and pull it the rest of the way out, and then it'll just pop directly straight up before you get to the thermostat housing. I figured that was important, but I didn't show it. You can see how it goes back on whenever we reinstall it, but it's pretty simple. Way easier than bands. You can kind of see this angle. We thought we drained everything that we needed to, but we didn't completely clear the thermostat, so we're draining a little bit more out.
I need a new,
Just over the top of it.
need a new gun for it. Like the hose through gun.
Yeah.
Need a new hose.
Almost there. I'm gonna let it pass it a little bit. Like keep on going past the.
It's about where it was earlier.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Almost 2 gallons. Just about.
Yeah. About. Yeah, it's about halfway there. Well, a little more than half actually.
That should probably be good. All of it. Now that we drain the coolant, we can see the thermostat in there. Zip these 3 bolts out on the thermostat housing. They're 8mm. Okay, they're not all the same length, so you gotta kind of mess with it, but I just leave them in there. They got these 2 on the left here. Those are the 2 longs, and then this one right here is the shorts. I believe they're the same length. Yeah, the 2 longs are the same length, and then they had the 1 short one. And then also I want you to pay attention to see this little hole here on the left side of the thermostat. That one is facing your intake. You know, it's facing the intake. The new thermostat has to go in the exact same way. So just take note of that. Hole, center of the engine. Okay, see, there's a better look at it. Here's the hole towards the intake side, this way, sitting down in there. So when you put the new one in, make sure it is. And then also this rubber gasket's around the outside. Make sure it is completely around the edge of your new thermostat, because mine wasn't. So put it on if it isn't. Okay, on the new one, on the SPE, that little hole, it's just this little plunger deal right here. That goes in like that, this way. Oh, shoot. Just put her on in there, and she'll sit down in the recessed area. All right, now start your truck. Okay, I just kind of enable that back down in there. It's all aluminum, so don't cross thread. Ooh, that one's got a... This bolt right here is kind of a headache. I have to... There we go. Just kind of pull up the thermostat housing and push this longer one over here next to your intake. A throttle body valve or whatever. That one will kind of fight you. So pull the thermostat housing up and then poke it down. It'll fall down in the hole. And then you should be good to start threading these in. Yeah, just get them snug with this, and then I'm gonna hand tighten from there. Just giving her a, you know, about 60 inch-pounds. That's one of them right there. Perfect. Picture hose. That orientates like that. That is literally the only thing other than the thermostat housing I had to take off. Just feed it up underneath there. Then put the 90-degree down first. Push her till she seats. And then put that retainer back on. There he goes. And then right here, pull that dude up. Same difference. Push her till she seats. There you go. Simple. Now get your Motorcraft Jello. The 2022s call for yellow. I believe that is all the way down till 2018 or 13. I don't fucking know. But it's yellow. We put yellow in there. She's a squirter. Oh God. We poured about 1.5 gallons out, I think, to get it below the thermostat, so take note. And don't spill none. Quit. I gave the whole engine a quick little rinse off with the water hose. I pulled this off of the fuel filter and tried to start it and sprayed diesel everywhere, but put it back on and then sprayed off the engine just to clean that off, and then also get a little bit of the coolant left over in case you made a mess with it.
I think it's a good upgrade. It's one of the first upgrades that I did in my 6-liter, which y'all haven't seen yet. I have a 6-liter. I have an F450. It's a bucket truck. That's why it's not on the channel. That's why we don't, play in it or anything like that, or do serious work on it. It's just a work truck. We just try to keep it as moderate and long lasting as possible. We do everything in it. I recently did like the 4-foot long pigtail for the cam sensor. Had to do that in it, and since then I haven't had any issues yet, but it's just a work truck. So but it would be a cool tow pig one day if we could ever take that boom off the back of it and put like a flatbed or something. That would be an awesome truck to build. Anyway, that was one of the first things I did to my 6-liter. Was I put a lower temp thermostat in it. Even though it was 5 degrees, I was seeing, especially on a 6.0, I was seeing 220, 220, 225 on hot, like summer days. Just driving the bucket truck, 225 degree oil temp. 6.0s, if you know anything about 6.0, they have issues with their oil temps. And that's not something you want to be getting hot. So I went ahead and put the lower temp thermostat in it. That dude hangs right around, like, if it's 107 degrees outside and I'm driving the bucket truck up a hill, I may see 210. maybe. But most of the time it's right there around like that 186 degrees, just putting around, you know. But anyway, we're not talking about the buck truck or 6 liters. We're talking about the 6.7. I'm gonna do a drive along and review what I see, the differences out of the oil temps and transmission temps. Transmission temps stayed around 180, 85 on the highway, and that's cruise set 70 miles per hour, or 66 was in the video, but like that's cruise set, no strenuous activity, just cruising. It was 185, but we'll see what it does now. I've been driving for quite a while now, and it seems like it wants to hang out right at 176 degrees. It's 38 degrees outside. It's a little bit colder than yesterday, but it's not raining outside, so I'm assuming those are pretty similar to, you know, similar conditions. But it is a lot windier today, but 176 degrees is where this transmission wants to hang out at. That's a whole lot better than 185, especially when you throw a trailer or you're towing or anything in that matter. 185 can turn into 200 really quick, but 175, 176 going to 195, that's not that bad. As long as I like underneath that 200 number, especially for transmission temps. Here is my oil temp, right at 181 degrees. That is 1 degree higher than the lowest number on like the SPE website's threshold. They say that on average driving, SPE says 180 to 185. Mine's at 181, so it's right in there. And that's a whole lot better than 200 to 210. When it all boils down to it, do I recommend the SPE lower thermostat on your 6.7 Powerstroke? Absolutely.